Hi there, this is Diane the Blonde in our Blondes Prefer Gentlemen personal tutoring series, The Art of Manliness. Thank you for joining me today. I want to talk about, in this special lesson, being versus doing. Now, I am going to reveal something probably a little bit personal, but I want to share it so that you kind of get a little insight into the mindset about when you are possibly pursuing a relationship with somebody. Now, I have been on, I honestly, I couldn't even count how many dates that I have been on. And it is always fascinating to me to see how a man, what is that? How do they impress a woman? What do they do? And let me just shed a little light on this, because I'm on the newsletter list for some of these people who are relationship gurus, and they send out advice to other guys, and it's a guy to a guy thing. And there is one that I do recommend, and all the others that I have seen, it is ridiculous the kind of advice that a man gives another man about a woman. How does a man know what a woman thinks? It's insane. So that's part of my answer to the things that I read from some of the newsletters that I get from a guy to a guy. And I'm thinking, this is really not how women see this. And to be a little fly on the wall and watch some of the tips that these guys give other guys and watch how it flops as far as being really successful with a real woman it's just appalling to me, the kind of advice that makes me think, how does a man just not get it? Let me just clue you in here. If you are an amazing man that is a keeper, and you seek an amazing woman that is a keeper, whether you send her flowers or open her door or whatever, it's not going to make a difference. It's more who you are and how you have led your life up to this moment that makes you who you are. Your character as a man, as a human being, as a citizen, as a son, as a brother, as a boyfriend, a husband. Who you are is infinitely more important than what you drive, what you buy, all of those things. I am just appalled that sometimes a guy just doesn't quite get that. You can't buy someone to be impressed with you. Your honesty, your integrity really does matter to a woman who is honest, to a woman who has integrity. Furthermore, if you seek a woman who is spiritual, if she is sensitive to things of that nature, she seeks a man who is the same in that way. There is nothing more upsetting than to really, really like somebody and be attracted to somebody who doesn't share the same values and same beliefs that you do. So, probably not meeting at a bar or, someplace like that if you want to find a person that is, you're interested in making her your keeper. The keepers, because it's not, I'm not talking about just, a quick date or something. I'm talking about a real relationship that is satisfying to you, that enhances your life, that increases your capacity to enjoy and magnify your life experience. Like a little scene I saw in a movie where it's just it just validates your existence to share with somebody. Oh my gosh, I got home and there was so much traffic. Just have somebody to listen to you and to validate you. Here is my little admission, okay? And this is a pretty vulnerable thing for me to share, but it is straight from my heart. So if you are listening and you have seen some of my other tutorials, I want you to know that all of this is born from my heart to yours, that you might really get in mind and the heart of a real person. And I know that I am not like a lot of people, but maybe I am like some people. And so here's my little scene. This is what I imagine. Of course, I have my deal breakers, but I imagine being in, say, a room, where there's a lot of people, maybe for a holiday gathering or something, and looking across at each other, and not like meeting, but we're all ready together, and me looking across the room at him, and he's kind of looking across the room at me, and we kind of wink at each other or do, whatever, we share that look, and me knowing that, oh my gosh, look at him, he's so amazing, and knowing that I will have to share him with the world because he's that amazing, and him knowing the same thing about me, that as he looks across the room and he sees me, and we're both talking to different groups of people, or we're listening, or whatever, that he'll have to share me with the world. But when we're together, when we go home and it's just us, that we know we felt like we won the best prize, which was each other. Can you imagine being a man and not having your woman feel that way about you? That feeling of respect and admiration and just total adulation? Don't you want that? Well, that's what you need to be worthy of. That's what I need to be worthy of. So it's not something that you can buy. It's something that you are. It's not something you can do. It's just something you have to be. And there is no amount of falsifying or trying to, make a sham out of who you are, because eventually who you really are will be found out in due time. So, let's work on being the kind of person that we would like to be with, and have a spine and stand up for the things that are right. And yes, put your best forward physically. Take care of yourself. Groom yourself well. Exercise. Eat well. Do your best to be a financially sound person. All of those other things that make sense. Yes, but do it whether or not somebody is watching. Live well. Don't live like a pauper if you're a king. Make your life inviting. Make somebody who meets you think, wow, I really love that life. I would love to share in that kind of a life, and vice versa. I hope that you found that helpful, and especially my little admission. I want us to feel like we won the prize, which was each other. Thanks again for watching. I'm Diane.